Hello, I'm Theodora from Greece. Don't you think that the incapability of European Union to help European countries deal with economic crisis may be a sign of possible ineffectiveness of European Union to handle with European issues?
Well, I think you can get different answers for your question, but one thing which got to my mind when I'm listening to your question, I don't see a European Union which did not and is not helping member states which find themselves in problems. I mean, actually, all the budgetary crisis of member states revolved around how much the other member states are able to help them. And you had member states which found themselves in a very, very, very difficult economic situation for past mistakes, perhaps for years and years of living beyond one's means. And all of a sudden, member states, particular member states, found themselves in a position of not being able to have the money, the necessary money to go on, to pay salaries, to pay police force or hospitals and open hospitals and pay the security officials and everything. So what happened? These member states asked their colleagues, the other member states, can you help us? Because we can't afford borrowing money from the international financial markets because they're asking us for a huge return. They're asking us for a 35% interest rate. Imagine buying a house, paying a 35% interest. That's impossible. So they asked the other countries, can you help us? Can you lend us money? And that's what happened. You got other countries who said, okay, we will lend you money, not for 35%, but we have to ask you for an interest rate because it's our citizens' money, and of course they will want to get the money back, so they set a 6% interest rate, for example. And that was actually the story. Of course, then these member states asked the particular member state asking for this to borrow money that we need to make sure that you are implementing and taking decisions that will make you solve the problems you have. Otherwise, we cannot lend you money blindly. And that's one of the ways how you can look at what happened, really. So, believe it or not, we've seen a great action of solidarity between member states. If perhaps we were finding ourselves in the same problem 50 years ago, you might have found yourself in a position where your neighbouring countries would have told you, no, this is your problem, you solve it. I mean, of course, having one currency made a difference as well, because what happens is when you have one currency is that if one country goes down, the others will suffer as well. So apart from solidarity, there was also the element of we cannot really afford some colleague of ours to go down because this will affect us as well. So there was, of course, more than one direction leading to why we are helping each other. Of course, it could have been better. There is always a continuum of how much better you can be. But I wouldn't say that the European Union did not